Hey, welcome back to the Den, guys. Dave here. What do we have here? DM, Damascus blade knife. Stick around. We'll check it out. And welcome back. So let's finish that. Now this came wrapped up kind of nicely in the package when it comes, so we'll just put the box all the way. I've been using it now for, about 2 weeks on my side, carrying it around, fiddle-farting around with it. We'll go over the sheath first. Decent quality. Nothing to write home to mama about. Some of the stitching is lackluster. There's a couple holes here where there's no stitching at all. And that's the way it came. It's not for me using it, that's just the way it came. Tooling. Somebody was in a hurry. This is all over the place. But that's minor. It's nothing major. Back here you can see where the leather's raw. When it came, these points were very sharp. They were digging into my side like a needle. I had to take a Dremel tool and very slowly and gently round this off to the edge so it wasn't digging into my side anymore. So that being said, that's not too bad, but sadly that's not the worst of it. So let's get over the blade here, or go over the blade. I think I'll ever get over it. So from stem to stern it's 6 inches. Handle length is 3 1/4. And actual cutting edge is just under 2 1/4. So we got about a ½ inch worth of stock here that we're not using. I have tried to put an edge on this to keep an edge. It takes an edge, but it loses it very quickly over just some mild usage. I cut in a little bit of footage here. And as you can see, I, just sitting there tapping it with my hand. Nothing hard. It's not like I was beating the daylights out of it. I have done some feather sticking with it. It's not the greatest because the angle of this blade is just so sharp, or steep, I mean. Ideally you want to be able to have a knife like this for feather sticking. You almost got to have it here, almost a 45-degree angle to get it to go. And that's off the edge that they had on it. That was before I did anything with the edge. And it was adequate. Well, let's get over the downfalls of the edge here. See if I can get this to focus in enough for you to see. You see the plunge lines are off. Right there. And it's kind of hard to see it. Let's see if I can get my hands to get my phone to focus here. Right about there. And see where it's shinier right here next to the plunge line than the rest of it. I don't know what happened when they were doing it, but it's got a really sharp grind right there compared to the rest of the edge. This side, there is no such dent, shall we call it. Disappointed in that. I sent them a message. Kentucky Knives. Have not heard back yet. 2 weeks later. No information, no response. So customer service with Kentucky Knives, poor. And I'm a big proponent of customer service. If you want me to deal with your company, when I ask you a question, just answer me. Even if it's boo-hoo, go get it off the pot, whatever. Just send me an answer. People like to hear. It's just the way we are now. As far as the spine goes, it is at a 90. Don't use a ferro rod on it. I did that only a few times, and the difference between the steels here actually started creating little teeny ripples in the back edge. I had to take a small stone and my Dremel at a low speed with a little bit of oil on it to gently take those little divots back out of it. I don't know if you can see it in the coverage. You can see a couple spots right there where they created small little divots. They're not, they're not sharp anymore, but they were there. As far as the tip goes, careful, I don't cut myself here. Come on, phone. Yeah, it's not going to focus. Sorry, this phone doesn't have a very good focus on it. But the tip is decent. It is sharp. When I first pulled it out of the package, I went like this to test the tip, and ooh, left a little drop of blood on my finger. So it is sharp. It's not as sharp as it was, but I haven't abused it. 2 weeks of using it, carrying it on my side, and I put my elk ridge knife through a lot more abuse, and the UST knife through a lot more abuse than this one's had, and this one is not holding up anywhere near as good as either one of those. So I'm going to say this is not Pakistan's best work as far as Damascus steel. I mean, it does look pretty. I'll give it that. But yeah. As far as the handle goes, handle looks nice. It's pretty. It's well rounded. But fit and finish here is off. The spine of the knife is actually a smidgen above the handles themselves, and it is noticeable when you're hanging on to it. Same with down here on the other side. There's a difference in the edge. Same with back here. So a fit and finish on the handle, not that great. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm disappointed. I was expecting a little bit better quality, but so much for that, I guess. But if you want something that looks pretty, there you go. It does look pretty. The sheath is adequate. I mean, once it's in there, it doesn't want to come out. Even when I squeeze it, it'll come out a little bit. But, like I said, I carried it on my side for 2 weeks, EDC style. Never had a problem with it falling out. Comes out relatively easy. I mean, there's a little bit of retention in there. It's not Kydex, but it will hold it in place. But yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, I will give it a 2. 10 being best, but a 2. Customer service, zilch. Quality control, poor. Knife edge when received, wouldn't even cut a piece of hair. I did manage to get some of an edge on it, and I used it just a little bit outside to make it on a different video, and it lost the edge completely, and we're talking very thin, very light wood. When I did the feather sticking, it was like it was fresh out of the box. I'm sorry I didn't film that. I should have, but I didn't. So yeah, don't waste your time with Kentucky knives. You'll be sorely disappointed. That's it for this video. Thanks for checking it out. See you next time. Hey, this is Dave. Thanks for watching the Den. If you like what you see, hit the little subscribe button that's going to be up here or down there. If you want to know when we release a new video, hit that little bell icon, click receive notifications, and that way you know when we release a new video. Again, thanks for watching the Den. I'm Dave.
I'm Charles.
Remember, keep them loaded.
Keep it safe.
Peace.